Egypt's President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is poised to win 6 more years in power, a result that isn't in doubt. That's despite growing despair about soaring prices, which have stirred criticism of Sisi's record on the economy and his crackdowns on dissent. In power for close to a decade, the former army chief presents himself as a guarantor of stability in a volatile neighbourhood. 2 wars on Egypt's borders, in Gaza and Sudan, have hardly hurt that image. Sisi announced his campaign for the December 10th to 12th election would be curtailed to save funds for aid to Gaza, though giant posters of his face are everywhere. If only he'd been content with the 10 years, says Mohammed Anwar Sadat, a moderate opposition figure and former member of parliament.
Before the events of Gaza, the pressure on economic and living conditions, as well as other issues, were questioned by people and had created a state of anger against President Sisi and big reservations about his policies. Since the beginning of the events in Gaza, there has been a state of calm and tranquility in the minds of many, who started to feel it was better if the current president continues.
Sisi has overseen a crackdown since leading the 2013 ouster of Egypt's first democratically elected president, Mohamed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood. Sisi and the military establishment are tight, while the Brotherhood has been driven underground or abroad. The constitution was amended in 2019 to let Sisi stand for a 3rd time, and it extended the presidential term to 6 years from 4. Sisi was declared winner with 97% of the vote in the previous 2 elections. But Egyptian authorities seem wary of a public backlash this time, so 3 candidates have qualified to stand, all of them low profile and muted in their criticism. This is Medhat Az-Zahed, head of the Socialist Popular Alliance Party, which is boycotting the vote.
They needed a degree of competition because of pressure concerning freedoms and human rights in Egypt and pent-up popular frustrations. So there was an attempt to release these frustrations through peaceful means, so long as the ceiling is defined.
A national dialogue earlier this year allowed the airing of a few critical views, and some prisoners were pardoned. But arrests have continued. Parliament is dominated by Sisi's supporters, and his allies control the media. A campaign by leftist politician Ahmed al-Tantawi, the most prominent potential opposition candidate, briefly tapped into pent-up discontent. But he dropped out of the race, citing pressure from pro-government forces. He's now facing a judicial case on allegations of using illicit means to collect endorsements. Sisi's campaign office did not respond to requests for comment.
The current president can get at most 1% of the votes out of real support, and I expect he can get 10% of votes using the same ways he used to gather endorsements. But as for the sweeping majority of the Egyptian people, they were waiting for a serious candidate.
Fears about the economy have not gone away. The state has crowded out the private sector. Egypt's debts have ballooned after a spending spree on mega projects like a new capital east of Cairo. And prices have rocketed for ordinary Egyptians, like Ahmed Khudair, who had this message for Sisi.
We ask him to lower the prices a bit for people to afford them, because families have 5 or 6 members, so lowering the prices would help people and help them live. I call on people before anything, before focusing on prices, to go vote for the President of the nation, because this way he will help people. He's already helping people.